Kyuck pseudo Kyuck. Previously, we've learned pseudo Kyuck, the knife hand position, which uses the base of the palm on the outside edge of the hand to strike. So that's the knife hand because it looks like the knife position here. Kyuck pseudo, Kyuck means reverse or opposite. So it's the opposite side, it's the thumb side that we'd be striking with. When practicing Kyuck pseudo Kyuck, you end up striking with the base of your thumb. So you'll find where the thumb and the finger kind of connect in the middle, right above your wrist. There's a strong spot right here. That's your striking point for Kyuck pseudo. Kyuck pseudo has a unique line of motion. Generally, we'll practice Kyuck pseudo in a tullo or reverse stance. So if I start from a front stance with my left leg back, I'll strike with my left hand without stepping. Instead of going straight out like many of the other techniques do, this one has a little bit more of an up and down circle. So I'll start with my hand retracted back, just like always. I pull my waist back slightly, and I let my hand push out to the corner. Once my elbow connects with my ribs and is about to leave my body, that's when I can roll it over and come over the top. So Kyuck pseudo would generally strike across and downward, kind of at an angle, striking the side of the head, the temple, or coming down on the collarbone. So sometimes you can swing straight across. Generally, when we practice Kyuck pseudo, it comes out. Make sure, and I know I'm showing it a little bit differently here, I start with my hand closed. Anytime it's retracted to my ribs, that hand should be closed. As soon as it starts to move, then it can open. So I'm pushing it out, and then I push off my back foot and my back hip, and that's what's going to create the motion and let Kyuck pseudo swing over the top. So generally, Kyuck pseudo will always be done as the reverse motion like I mentioned. So we would generally practice a block, shift back, and then add Kyuck pseudo at the end. It's very rare to practice Kyuck pseudo stepping with the same side hand and foot, so we won't really focus on that. We'll just do it as an add-on to the technique or from our reverse stance. Kyuck pseudo, or the ridge hand, is a very powerful technique. When you're used to striking or conditioning with your fist, over time it takes some time and some practice to build up a tolerance of striking something really hard with your knuckles. Because we're so used to grabbing things and holding things with our hands, that generally means that our palms and the outside area of your thumb is a little bit more conditioned than your knuckles may be. So generally when we start with our wrist grab techniques, we start with palm strikes, knife hand strikes, and the ridge hand strike, because that keeps your hands a little more safe, and that uses areas that are a little more naturally conditioned of your body. So ridge hand is a very powerful technique that you can use very effectively in many different ways.